All right, so John Roca says some people won't want to hear this, but it might be time to stop putting all of the blame on studios or creatives for underperforming movies. It might be time to start looking at the intelligence level of moviegoers.
That's called society, folks. I mean, moviegoers. Tell me who's not a moviegoer. Like, this is literally, you just called out humanity.
We go back to this liberal elitist trope. You know, society is too stupid to appreciate how bad this is. Renegade Online. Right? And I'm not out here trying to pick on anybody in particular, like any one person. I'm looking at the theme of the confusion out there over the lack of performance for F4. Something that if you watch this channel, you've probably been well aware of was coming for quite some time. My time to shine, but seriously, how do you explain this? Like, what happened? I figured, well, all right, let me respond. I don't know why people don't get this. Disney, Marvel, and Pedro, like we just talked about. It's going to perform $100 million better than Captain Falcon, and that's about it. And then you've got other ones out there. Yeah, Daniel Rickman. Okay, at this rate, we're looking at a total of around 500 to 550 million. So in other words, Daniel RPK, yeah, he's right there with me. This isn't Valiant Renegades making up numbers. No, Luis Fernando, who he's citing here, ERC, I don't know if they put out a number yet, but they probably will soon. Daniel Rickman, everybody else. I mean, everybody's looking at this going 500 to 550. I promise you it's probably going to be closer to 500 than 550. Yep. I said in my video today, I said, let's split the difference and call it 525. I think that's reasonable. At this rate, we're looking at a total of 500 to 550 worldwide, possibly under 300. I'm like, oh no, it's going to be under 300 domestic. I can almost assure you that. Not a flop, but definitely not good either. I loved this movie, and I don't understand why this is happening. Really?
Can we address the not a flop, though? Because I think that if it makes 500, it probably is a flop. What do you say?
That's what I said in the video. There's a break in the video where I had to break out and I say, not a flop. I'm like, bro, that's a flop.
What I love is that most of these are the same people that were crying gloom and doom for Superman and Warner Brothers. Roca was another one out here doing it. Like the fact that they're out here shilling is so obvious.
I'm trying to be polite when I go into these things, so only about 100 more than Captain Falcon said it would be the case. Marvel lost the script after Endgame. Audiences long ago checked out. Simple as that. Disney just won't acknowledge it. And look, even Gary, even Nerdrotic had to come back here. This is before I got involved. Even Nerdrotic had to call out Daniel Rickman saying, actually a movie not making its money back in the theatrical run is a flop. Gary, we salute you.
I like the D.
So that was the wrong clip. That was the right. That was the right clip.
What about Grace? What Grace is saying about this? You said Scott Mendelson. We're gonna get him, but
I want that Daddy Pedro shirt.
All right, so John Roca says some people won't want to hear this, but it might be time to stop putting all of the blame on studios or creatives for underperforming movies. It might be time to start looking at the intelligence level of moviegoers.
That's called society, folks. I mean, moviegoers. Tell me who's not a moviegoer. Like, this is literally, you just called out humanity. Take that, humanity.
He says if a phenomenally stupid film like Jurassic World Rebirth can crush films like Superman and F4 at the box office, then something might be wrong with all of us and not the studios or the creatives. Now, my initial reaction to this was like, look, Rebirth was it was a bad movie. But the thing is with Rebirth is that it doesn't need to be good. It hits its target demo. Kids want to go see big monsters stomping around and eating people. It does that. It sells a ton of toys, right? Nobody is ever accused, except maybe the first one or two, any of the Transformers movies of being
like I just joked.
Films.
They've been making nothing but bad Jurassic movies for the last decade.
Yeah,
like Jurassic World 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all very bad movies.
Well, I
Very
like the
bad
first.
movies.
Yeah, I still like Jurassic World 2016, but
It was all right, but it's just Jurassic Park redo. Let's be real.
No, I'm not arguing that. It definitely was, but it was enjoyable, right?
It's the best of the bunch. You're not wrong. Yes.
The problem here is that we go back to this liberal elitist trope of we're all just, society is too stupid to appreciate how bad this is. Yeah, I know. My son loved it. I get it. I know. I get it, Renegade Jr.
Look, I didn't hate it
But
either. Here's my issue with Jurassic World. It was a horrible Jurassic Park movie, but it was a better Jurassic World movie than the last 4 movies. I don't know how that works, but it does.
But the point is that he looks at this and he says, we're too stupid to appreciate the right things in Hollywood. But everything in Hollywood kind of has its place, who it's made for, the target audience, what it's meant to do. Not everything is going to be good. Yes, things like Jurassic World are going to do better globally. But John misses the point in his own analysis that Superman is actually going to beat Jurassic World, domestically at least. It's done. It's already it's $500,000 behind Jurassic World at the box office right now, and it's a week or so younger at the box office than Jurassic World is.
Right.
So the legs are going to keep stretching out. Superman has more headroom in front of it domestically than does Jurassic World. It's going to beat it. That's number one. But blaming the audience, we go back to this kind of thing, and John Rocca was this, one of these kind of same guys that was chewing
He comes from
out
Collider.
the internet. I know he's kind of chewing out the internet for being offended by really stupid casting decisions. So, and I'm not trying to pick on him particularly, but the point is that his comment, as I said in the video today, is unfortunately reflective of most people on that side. It's a microcosm of the bigger problem out there. The audience is too stupid. Let me put it in terms of politics. This was the same thing when it came to presidential elections. Oh my God, how could you vote for Trump over Hillary? You're just too stupid. How could you vote for Trump over Biden? You're just too stupid. The audience is too stupid. How did you not elect the smartest woman alive, Kamala Harris, and you put Trump because you're just too stupid? The same argument, right? Every single time. It's the elitist mentality that average middle America is just too dumb for their creative genius.
And the problem they're having here, Valiant, is they can't blame it on us. See, that's the thing. So they have to blame the
humanity,
the audience.
Humanity.
Right? Because we had enough people within our spheres where they can't say, oh, it was bashed by all those anti-woke YouTubers, and that's why people didn't go see it. It's like, no, there was plenty of us on both sides of the equation that liked both films, right?
Scott,
so they can't even say that we were out there, demeaning the film or putting it down, and that's why Fantastic Four failed. And notice, like I said, nobody's saying this crap until Fantastic Four failed. That's when they finally get out there and start blaming the audience for not going to see a movie.
And just real quick, it pulls the veil back on these people. They are utterly clueless. They're just pretenders. They have no idea what's happening or what's going to happen. And then when they're wrong, they just get angry. Like, it is the most basic thing in the world to know that if you put Citizen Kane out this summer at the box office, Citizen Kane is largely regarded as one of the greatest movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it out at the box office, it will make nothing.
Right.
It's not about being the best movie in terms of box office. Those are two separate issues. The box office is about marketability and audience enjoyment. And that is not the same as being the best movie. The CGI T-Rex from Jurassic Park has been around since 93, and people love him as a character, never said a line, but they love him more than they love Pedro. Done. That's it.
Yep. Scotty Mendelson actually kind of got some things right here.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't know because he's got me blocked.
Disney, listen to what he says.
Now
Scott Mendelson, formerly of Forbes magazine, says Disney bought Fox and stripped it for parts so that a better reviewed MCU affiliated reboot could have post-debut legs as bad as Fantastic Four. Eventual global grosses on par with Ant-Man films and, quote, tickets sold Earnings essentially tied with the 2005 Fantastic Four. So he's frustrated. He is as frustrated as the John Rocca's out there and the Daniel RPKs and everybody else that is absolutely confounded at the fact that Fantastic Four could fail like it has. And it has failed. When those of us here, this audience especially, the Renegade Nation, you guys have heard me talking about this for months. We knew this was coming. This was very plain. This was very obvious. You could see the performances of everything leading up to it. There was nothing materially different unless you bought into the hype for this film for some reason, because Pedro or something. Or, it's great. Well, everybody said the Thunderbolts was really good. It didn't leg out for shit. It died. Why was this movie going to be any different? The reason we gave this movie some deference over Captain Falcon DEI is because that was a Captain America movie, like we said earlier, that did not have Captain America in it. It was also released in February. This was going to be a summer movie. So we said, you know what? We'll throw an extra $100 million Fantastic Four's way in terms of our box office, ultimate full run box office projections. Guess what? It's happening. It's going to finish up about $100 million more than Captain Falcon DEI, while at the same time, probably about $100 million less than Superman. Everybody's frustrated. Scotty Mendelson right here is frustrated. But at the very least, to give Scotty credit this time, is that he doesn't go off taking a piss on the audience like John Rocca did. He sits here and he actually looks at this as just blaming Disney, which is impressive. Disney bought Fox and stripped it for parts so that a better reviewed MCU-affiliated reboot of F4 could have post-debut legs as bad as this movie does, and eventual grosses on par with Ant-Man films? Come on. Yes, Scott. Yes, this is exactly what they did. They spent $70 billion to acquire Fox, stripped it for parts. $70 billion in 2018. And I actually had somebody ask me, I don't remember if it was last night on the member show or maybe it was here tonight or somewhere in the last 24 hours. Somebody posted a comment either on X or here and said, hey, when they figure in these budgets for all of these former Fox properties, which Fantastic Four was a Fox property, as was Deadpool and Wolverine, are they factoring in the floor costs, like whatever portion of the Fox acquisition that they paid to get these IPs back? What part of that $70 billion was that? And I said, no, of course they're not factoring that in. It's kind of like having Amazon Prime spend $250 million just to get the rights to use the name, The Lord of the Rings. Just the name. Before they spent a single dime producing anything for Rings of Power. The same could be said here for things like Fantastic Four and all the X-Men stuff they're going to fiddle around with later. Is that, yes, you got to remember, Disney paid not just to produce this film, but an enormous cost to get Fox to be able to make this film. Well, let me show you. You asked about Grace Randolph earlier, and as far as what she had to say, okay, 19 hours ago, why should you care about a movie's box office like Fantastic Four? Because it gives you an idea if you're going to see those characters return and or the viability of a franchise going forward. Also, this is the refrain of fans whose favorite film has flopped.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.